Welcome to Xtra presented by VDG Sports. I am your host, Vince Douglas Gregory. No filter. Very censored. Yeah, I was raising the roof. I was making my chest pop. I was doing a two-step. I was doing everything during that. I was celebrating that the noobs who don't need to be here left and went away. The rest of yous, and that's the yous plural, you're welcome. You are welcome. It's almost that time again. And I've learned my lesson by asking for chaos. I've learned my lesson by telling the universe that you can make every moment a chaotic moment. I'm prepared. I am prepared. I am prepared for just about any and everything. But some of those things that happen, it was just out of my control, and no one can prepare for that. Regs, we back at it again. Regs, we do what we do. Regs, this feels like every single day, but it's not every single day. It just feels that way. We got this special, unique bond. Sharing is caring. You shouldn't share everything, though. Sharing is caring, but you shouldn't share everything, though. And that wasn't a hiccup or anything in the Matrix, far as with deja vu and all of that. Nah, that was just me repeating because it's something serious. Yeah, ain't no doubt about it. Serious. Angelic, bird-like voice. Okay, it's almost that time again, and you know, and that's the you know. He, and not the you know, ha ha. I like to keep promises to myself. I really, really do. It's hard, and that's why I don't make that many promises to myself. But this is one promise that I've been able to keep for multiple decades now. Multiple decades in the running, I've been able to keep this promise, and I would like to keep it that way. But there's probably another promise that I probably should make to myself. And it's fairly new, and I didn't know if I will go this direction or not, because I usually give stuff enough time to simmer and fester before I bring it to one's attention. But sharing is caring. I don't share everything. And you shouldn't share everything either, or either. You pick, or you choose. I'm just the narrator. I am just the narrator. Now, I haven't wet myself in a very, very, very long time. And this is a family program, so I'm just going to keep it PG, or I'm just going to keep it G. So you're going to have to work with me here. I'm going to be creative enough to get the point across without saying the point. If you get the message, the message. I haven't whipped myself in a long time. And basically, I haven't whipped myself in a long time on purpose either. And been forced to, or it doesn't count when you're in a body of water because it's already the water. It's already, unless it's a public domain. Unless it's a public domain. Now, if it's somewhere where nobody and it's unknown, go right ahead. And I'm speaking of a lake. I'm speaking of an ocean. I'm speaking of something to that accord, like that. But I had to be somewhere. I had to do something. And I calculated everything out to the exact minute, to the exact second. So when the calculations didn't work out, meaning when the people were delayed, meaning when the people wasn't paying attention, meaning when the people wasn't, how can I put this in a nicer way? didn't know that I exist because I was invisible, because I had my invisible clothes on that made me invisible. Therefore, I had to acknowledge that I am present, I am here, I am ready and waiting, but I got to go. I got to go. And I got up and I walked around. I paced myself just enough to be able to go a little bit longer without wetting myself. And I also went to other rooms and I went to other areas to try to figure out where can I go, or where should I go, or where could I go? But then the light bulb came on and I realized that there's only one place, and it's the place that I just left. So maybe, just maybe, I need to go back before someone gets ahead of me in the line. And so I went back, and I'm still distraught. I am still I'm not in panic mode, but I'm thinking some irrational thoughts. I am thinking some things that can't come true and shouldn't come true. And those thoughts are just rolling and rattling around in my mind. They probably help me get through. They probably help me get past all of the hurt, all of the pain, all of the agony, all of the things, that makes it tough, that makes it difficult, that makes it hard to continue on. And so I'm like, all right, I need to go. I have to go. Because if I can't go, then I have to go. And if I have to go, I gotta go somewhere. And it just can't magically disappear. It just can't magically evaporate. It just can't magically go poof. It's gone. It's not going anywhere. It shouldn't go anywhere. It won't be going anywhere or anything. All of the above. And I'm struggling. I am hurting. I am in pain. This is something that I wouldn't wish upon my bestest enemy. This is something that I wouldn't wish upon my nemesis. This isn't something I would wish upon the evil doers that shall go nameless. The evil doers who are all up in my grill space and accounting for things they shouldn't be accounting for because the pain was just too much. It felt, I can't explain. Just think of something that's really, really terrible and multiply that by infinity and then square root it and then multiply it again. Then just wipe that off and just say it just hurts really, really bad. And that's my final answer. And that's what we're going to end up with. And that's the end game when it comes to that. And it brought back up memories of my younger days and yesteryears. And it was like that. It was like I had a moment of clarity. It was like that my whole life was just flashing upon me. I wasn't in deep sweat. I wasn't in a cold sweat or anything like that because the building was pretty cold. So I guess it had that working for them. It had that working for them, that it was pretty cold. But my life was flashing before my eyes. I was recalling. I was remembering remember the time. Bird-like voice. I was having all of the memories where I was in a position like this, or when I was in a position where I could have possibly just not made it to where I need to go. And my mind was just replaying that. Everything felt like it was in slow motion. I was concentrating on my breathing. My leg was going up and down like 30 miles per hour, but I wasn't moving in one direction or the other. It was just moving by itself. And I was about this close, this close. And for you all or y'all who can't see, my hands are stretched out as long as they can go from one end to the other end. I was that close, just about that close to doing something that I didn't want to do. I was that close for the universe for teaching me a lesson. The lesson of you gonna learn today that you shouldn't calculate things down to the nearest or the tenth of a second, because soon as somebody throws it off, 1 second, it's over with. A minute, you washed up. 5 to 10 to 30 minutes, you better look to the sky and say what you need to say, because this might be it. I'm coming. This might be it. And that's how I felt, that this might be it. That's why I was getting the flashbacks. That's why everything was in slow motion. That's why I was feeling some kind of way, all of my feelings, but it was so much pain and so much hurt that my feelings just didn't feel anymore. It didn't feel good. It didn't feel bad. I was just blank. I was blank at the same time, just contemplating, pondering what happens next is what happened. And that's when I really, truly found out the meaning and the definition. It is what it is. It is what it is. Because it would have been what it been if something would have happened or occurred, because I had zero control over it. None whatsoever. I did my part. I showed up. I was prepared and ready. Everybody else wasn't prepared and ready. And I had to wait. And I had to wait. And I had to wait some more. And all of that waiting just threw everything off, because I had it strategically structured down to the second. Who does that? Me. Who's going to do that again? Me. Who learned a lesson? Yeah, I don't think I have, because I'm still going to do it again. I'm just going to listen to gut feelings a little bit more in those situations and not think things through. I'm just going to go with the flow, if you know what I mean. I'm just going to let it happen the way it should happen, and it's going to play out to happen. Making the promise to myself with this, nah, this ain't blowing up an engine. And that would be the next promise to the self. And this ain't running out of petrol. This ain't running out of the fuel. This ain't running out of the gasoline. That's the only promise that I got going. That's the only promise that I can keep. And that's the only promise that I know I struggle, really, really struggle with doing. And that's why, full circle, it's almost that time again for me to refuel the G-Ride. I don't know how it's going to end, but I know how it's going to go. And I'm looking at you, universe. I don't need to learn no more lessons. I don't need to learn no more lessons. Thank you for listening. Thank you for listening. Be sure to check out the new and improved website at XtraVDGSports.com. That is XtraVDGSports.com. Also, there's a YouTube as well. VDG Sports. Like, subscribe, share, basically do whatever it is you do there. Comment if you must, comment if you may. Noob that's still somewhat here, maybe. Thank you. You get a standing ovation. You getting a flea clap. Regs, you know what time it is. It is time to the G to the O, and you ain't getting it, so go.